in Champions Trophy, yeah, when I made a comeback in 2013, that time even this Champions Trophy, I was playing in that flow, and again I'm repeating that.
You had compared your test 100 in all to the one in Australia, against Australia and Mali. Would you say like this is like comparison to the Champions Trophy of 2013? It's going that
Yeah, I would say that the way I played in my debut match in Test cricket and the ball match, I played quite similarly and trying to keep repeating the same mantra for myself.
Thank you. So the pitch seemed to play differently from different ends when Sri Lankans were batting. They were from the other end, from the far end, seemed to be keeping low from the pavilion and seemed to keep keeping up a little bit. Did you have the same problem, or the pitch just evened out under the lights? And how was it?
No, I really didn't. I didn't thought about that. I was just watching the ball, playing the ball, and I felt that pitch was very good. And the way Sri Lanka started the innings, and I thought that they were going to score 300 runs, but unfortunately they lost a lot of wickets in the middle, and we dominated the game.
Thank you, sir.
Shikhar, how do you compare the current Sri Lankan attack to the Sri Lankan attack that you faced before?
See, of course, it's a young side, and then that transition period where all the boys gonna get matured. Of course, in international cricket, you need to have that experience, and the young boys, they're good boys, and over time they're gonna get better. That's what I feel.
Thank you, sir. Thanks.
It's your third international 100 of the tour.
How many?
Third international 100 of the tour.
Okay. I was saying 13 ODI one. No.
I'd like to ask whether is it the worst attack that you have met in your career?
No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't use those harsh words. It's just that they're good. The left arm bowler, he bowls decent pace, and even the other fast bowlers, they got good fast bowling attack. Even in Champions Trophy, they beat us. And it's just that, of course, we guys got a very mature side, experienced side, so that's play a huge role, because in pressure situation, how you handle the pressure situation, that matters a lot, and that comes with experience. So I feel that with time, the Sri Lankan team is going to be good.
Thank you, sir. Malik?
Shikhar, you have played Malinga for many years in IPL, international cricket. I mean, today he looked totally ineffective. How do you rate him going down in terms of his pace, and he used to really bowl in the block holes, but he has not been able to do that. Do you think it's sort of the cause of the Malinga, or the lowest of the Malinga that you have seen in all your 9-10 years of playing game?
Of course, he has been a legend for Sri Lankan cricket, and he had done great in international cricket performance. And of course, he's a bit old now, and with time, of course, I feel that his pace has gone down. So that's why we can attack more as a batsman. That's what we look, and but that's natural. He has played so many years of cricket, so this is just it's a cycle, life cycle. That's what.
Thank you. Last quote, sir. Given that you've seen the ups and downs of cricket, do you think when you're going through a phase like this, you begin to slip once in a while, you begin to slip and think about the law of averages and how maybe the slump could start at some point?
Well, man, I had a bit of slump earlier. Now I don't think about it. When it has to come, it will come. It doesn't have to come. So I embraced that period also. So when I wasn't doing good, I was still focusing on my process, and when I'm doing good, still focusing on the process. So those things doesn't bother me that much. And I feel that failures teach you a lot. And that I'm lucky that I had so many failures that I've learned so many things.
Thank you, sir. Last three, Chetan.
You obviously said that you don't think about bad matches or failures, but do you have certain goals like, okay, the team has started building towards 2019, but do you think about that? Do you think so far?
See, only
I only ask because your ICC record is so good that obviously you want to play that one.
Of course, see, it's a long time, and I would keep performing well for my side. That will be my goal, because if I won't perform, we got such great batsmen in our side that anyone can take the place, and so that's one thing. Then second thing, I would like to keep my fitness on a high level, so I can be, because all the young boys are there, and I like to keep myself fit at the pace of the game, at the game pace, and that's it. And I don't really make too many goals that I have to score this many runs. I just focus on the process, and in my process everything comes in: skill work, fitness, fielding. So these three things are my process, and I keep doing it.
Thank you, sir. Last two, Amit.
Shikhar, everyone in the last 5-6 days has been talking a lot about fitness. I mean, what has changed in terms of the whole psyche or the mindset of the team in the last, say, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, that so much focus has come on this part of the game, which maybe was not spoken that regularly?
It was always there. Now it's just more in front, and it is very important that everyone should be at the same level of fitness, because fielding is a major part in all three formats, because if one lose fielding or anything, that change the momentum. So and today's cricket, you have to be fit. It's not like 10 years back. 10 years back things were different. Now it's very high paced cricket, so you have to be fit, and it's a very fair thing. If you're not fit, then I think the team has to take that load on the team, and it's not fair. That's why even not just Indian cricket, every cricket team like Australia, England, New Zealand, they all have fitness parameters. So it's good that we are doing it and we're becoming more professional.
Can you pinpoint a moment where this change might have come in the mindset?
See, it was always there, and because now we got good players. If one goes, there's another player, so we can afford those things. So it's always a balance of everything. If we don't have good players in our backup, then we know that okay, we can curb a little bit on that. But now we have that, so why not put more responsibility on the players, so that we can come up and do the job for the team.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Margins of defeat throughout the tour, how hurting is that?
Yeah, I think it swings probably between hurt and embarrassment. Emotionally you get angry, you get frustrated. Am I angry with players? Absolutely not. Players work as hard as anyone can ask of them. They've been superb, support staff out of this world, brilliant. They work endless hours planning, helping the boys. So certainly you can't fault anyone within that changing. Yes, we didn't play our Test cricket today. That's pretty obvious. But yes, we did get angry. I think the saying "too many cooks" probably is accurate.
Nick, starting from the Champions Trophy, the 1 hour madness. So we are losing. But still, for all Sri Lanka is a reputed full member nation. What is the deadline that you can give to this kind of defeat?
Yeah, I would like to answer that question, because if it was up to me and we had control over what we did, then we could probably give you a timeline. But I think it's a question you need to probably ask a few other people as well. For me, if we were left alone and you could work with this group of players and we could get some stability and consistency over a period of probably 6 months, you'd see massive improvements. These are seriously gifted players. They're very, very good players. So you give them a little bit of time, and you give them a little bit of love, a little bit of care. Build up their confidence. You'll see results quick.
Since the day you take it over, we see continuous players falling down continuously, like they're getting injured. So whatsoever, some sort of trouble. So how do you feel about this kind of situation? The players getting injured one after the other.
I think if you look at around the world sports teams, at the percentage of players that is acceptable to become injured, we are well within those limits. So yes, it's frustrating when you see players get injured. Some of them are injuries that you cannot control. Sela Gunaratne's thumb you cannot control. And fast bowlers do get injured. They work hard. What they do is tough. But when you look at our percentage, we've looked at it long and hard. you look at the percentage of injuries we have for the size of the group of players that we're trying to service, we are much lower than the percentage.
You guys have, since of late, used the sweep and the reverse sweep shots extensively. It has brought both success and downfall as well. If there's a sort of school of thought that subcontinent players have better options in playing spinners than the sweep or the reverse sweep. What's your thought? Where does it all come?
I think once again you've got to go to the individual. What our job is as coaches is to put ammunition in the ammunition belt. Then it's up to the player to make the decision based on his strengths, his reading of the conditions, his reading of the opposition. I think it's been a huge help for our guys. There's obviously some that do it better. That happens everywhere in every team around the world. But what we do know is that we're not going to judge the success of that particular strategy in such a short period of time. Well, the way we look at it is, in longevity, is it going to make us better players on the subcontinent? And I think the answer to that is undoubtedly yes. Of course you're going to get it wrong, but people nick half volleys, they nick cuts.
Nick, everybody says this is a young team. Okay, fine. There are certain factors and certain facts that we can see, but then again, you still find about 4 to 5 experienced players in the team as well. How happy are you, or how disappointed are you about their contribution towards the game? I mean, experienced players.
My first question is, who is everybody? Because the way I see it is when players walk out onto the field, they're either experienced or inexperienced. The age of the player actually makes no difference. Obviously, a younger player, there's a greater chance of him being inexperienced, in which case we have to be supportive of him while he builds up that repertoire of experiences. Yeah, in every team, you want your senior players to perform, but at the end of the day, they're humans too. They're going to make errors. But when you get consistency within a team of players, you'll see improvements in performance. When we're getting new players every game, it gets very difficult. From a confidence point of view, from a player's point of view, it's very difficult, and it's difficult for us as well as a coaching staff to create a strategy.
150 for 3 at one stage. Things were they weren't looking too bad. But then some of the shots that batsmen put up were, well, you can take it over from that.
We were 139 for 1, so 77 for 9. To lose 9 wickets in 19 overs is, in anyone's language, unacceptable. We've got to take that on the chin as a staff, as players. That's the reality of sport.
I mean, I suppose it could be a little easier if the bowling unit was getting those wickets, but when the batsman is throwing it away, how much harder is it for you to accept?
Yeah, it's tough. It is tough. Probably didn't read the situation well enough. Yeah, there were some execution issues as well. What we always try and drive home in the change room is, if you make the right decision but don't execute, we're more than happy with that situation. And today I think we were a little bit more on the making the wrong decision side, unfortunately.
The final 2 questions.
Nick, a lot of our former players have expressed their surprise at the continuous snubbing of Dinesh Chandrima from the one-day side. Your thoughts?
Question for selectors.
Any more questions? Okay. Thank you, Nick. Thank you.